I'm Engineer James Okore, the founder and director of James Okore Technical Institute, also the founder of Youth Listing. Now, I welcome you all to this powerful practical training on automation. Now, today, I want us to understand the components which we use for automation, the components you can use for automation. Now, for you to become a professional automation engineer, you must also understand how to use these components, alright? So, let's just list them out for you to understand them. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, try to subscribe. If you have not followed us on TikTok or on Facebook, try to follow us. Engineer James Okore on Facebook, also James Okore Technical Institute on YouTube. On TikTok, Engineer James Okore. So the first component you have to understand how to use as automation engineer is the breaker. Know that breakers are of different types and sizes and they are rated in amps. And we said that breakers are switch gears which we use for isolation, also to protect our load from short circuit, excess current and overload. Alright, so we talk about breakers. We said that for you to become an automation engineer, first you have to understand is breakers. Okay, so we are talking about automation today, automation class. So the first component you must have to understand how to use is the breaker. Alright, so we talk about number one breaker. And number two component you must have to understand how to use as an automation engineer is the contactors. Now, contactors are electrical switch gears, or you call them industrial switch gears, which we use to automatically power and control electrical loads. I repeat, they are industrial switch gears which we use to automatically power and control electrical loads. Now, understanding contactors means that you are understanding automation. Why? Because they are components which enables you to automate those things that you are automating. No machine that you buy today that you will not see contactors. When you buy a machine today, you see contactors inside. They are actually enabling us to do what? To automate anything you want to automate. Why? Because contactors have what you call terminal categories. Alright, so I will say that we have terminal categories of contactors. Terminal categories of contactors. Now, number one terminal category of contactor is what we call the power or main terminals. Now, the power or main terminals of contactors are actually the terminals that enables us to supply current from the source down to the load, and they are actually labeled L1, L2, L3, and then T1, T2, T3 for 3-pole contactor. Then for 4-pole contactor, we have L4 and T4. And these terminals are normally open in nature, in the way that the terminals of T1 is the output of L1, then T2 is the output of L2. The same thing happens to T3 as well as T4. Alright? So when you check these terminals, you see that they are main terminals. Then the second terminal of contactor, which we call number B, is the control, or you call it the coil or control terminals. Now, the coil or control terminals of contactors are the terminals that you must supply current to before the contactor can energize and function automatically, and they are labeled A1, A2. Then we talk about number C, the terminal of contactor, which we call the auxiliary terminals of contactors. Auxiliary terminals of contactors. Auxiliary terminals of contactors. Now, these auxiliary terminals of contactors are actually the extra attached terminals to a contactor that enables us to automatically control electrical loads, and they are labeled normally open and normally closed. Now, most times they use number representatives to do what? To represent these normally open terminals and normally closed terminals. For example, for normally open terminals, you see terminals are 3 and 4, which is normally open, 13 and 14, which is normally open, 23 and 24, which is normally open, 33 and 34, up to 93 and 94. Anything 3 and 4 means normally open. Then anything that is 1 and 2 on contactor auxiliary terminals means normally closed, which you see 1 and 2, 11 and 12, 21 and 22, 31 and 32, up to 91 and 92. They are normally closed terminals. And we said that normally open terminals means normally. Alright, normally, initially, when that component which is contactor have not energized, alright, the terminals which are open in nature, they are separated in nature, that they don't allow current to flow from in to out. They are referred to as normally open. Then when the contactor then energizes, that normally open terminal will turn to normally closed. Then we said that normally closed terminals means normally, initially, When the component which is a contactor have not been energized, the terminals which are closed in nature in a way that they allow current to flow from in to out. Then when the component which is a contactor energizes, they normally close, then turn to normally open. Then another component that you have to understand how to use is the number 3 component, which we call the pin relays. Pin relays. Now pin relays play important role. They play important role in automation. They are components that uses small amount of current to control the bigger components of higher current. We have different types of pin relays, and again we have DC AC pin relays. Also we have AC DC contactors, and contactors are rated in amps anyway. Then when you look at another one, number 4, we talk about timers. Timers are actually used to delay before the load functions. There are electrical switch gears which we use to control electrical loads, but you have to set at a delay time in a way that you can delay something to function at a particular period of time. So in this case, we have terminals of contactors, we have terminals of pin relays, and terminals of timers also. Now this video is just to enable us to know some of the components we are going to use. If you want to understand the full details of these components, you can check out our videos on YouTube, which is James Okode Technical Institute. You see us using these components, teaching you how to use this component and how to practically connect this component. And you see some of the circuits that we have already built. Just check James Okode Technical Institute on YouTube. Also, for you to gain our training for your physical training or online training, you can as well call or send us a WhatsApp message on the number you see on the screen now. Also, if you want to get our practical books, you will also call or send us a WhatsApp message on the number you see on the screen now. So anything you want on automation or solar energy installation, industrial control panel, CCTV camera installation, smart home automation, we are there already. Thank you very much for following us.